everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, it's going to be another art supply haul video. Some of this stuff I got from Jerry's Artorama, a decent amount I did actually. Some of it I actually got from Amazon. I'm so excited to show with you some of my palette finds that I got from Amazon. You're not going to believe the deals I got on some of those. And I have some stuff from Hobby Lobby. So without further ado, why don't we just get right on into it. Most of this stuff is going to be watercolor themed because I'm really big back into watercolor again. And so that's kind of going to be the general theme of today's video. So the very first thing that I picked up that I'm ready to share with you, and I've already filmed a video on this, and I'd like to show you in depth a full review on these. These I got from Amazon, and I will leave a link in the description down below in case you guys are interested and would like to purchase these. It is not an affiliate link. I'm not sponsored. I don't make diddly squat. So I've got nothing to lose and nothing to gain. I'm only putting that link down there just so that you guys will know where to find these because I was excited to share them with my subscribers. These are... I believe the brand is called Passion for Masterpieces, but the seller called it Looneng, L-O-O-N-E-N-G, watercolor metal tins, excuse me. And I've got one out here already. I filmed a review on it and a setup, and I showed both of these in depth. But this palette only cost me, this says 24 half pans or 12 full pans. Well, it's actually more than that. If you buy this palette, you'll actually get 26 half pans or 14 full pans, as you'll see, $12.50. I'm really not even joking. I can't believe it. For that cost, I thought, yes, I'll take a gamble on it because I couldn't even get the pans for that cost. And yes, it comes with the pans. So, you know, at a place like Jerry's or Blick, I couldn't buy 14 full pans for the price of $12.50. So for me, it was completely worth it to take a gamble on it, and I'm so glad that I did. The quality of these tins are excellent. They say they're rust proof. I can't vouch for that just yet, but the edges are nice and rolled over. I like the mixing area. It doesn't stain so easily either. I mean, it's not stain proof, but, and the mixtures don't beat up as badly on it as some other tins. I just really like the quality of these tins. And I saw they had this one's called Colorful, this pattern. They also had it in one that was like a purple galaxy theme, and then of course basic black if that's what you prefer. But I have enough black tins in my collection, so I wanted to give the colorful one a try. And like I said, $12.50. You would not believe this was $12.50. I think they would make excellent gifts for artists. The artwork on the box is just beautiful. I really wasn't expecting that. And like I said, you can't buy the half pans or the full pans. You have a choice. You can choose if you want, it says 24 half pans, but you'll get 26, or 12 full pans, but you will get 14. The cost was amazing on this, and the quality is really good. So I highly suggest you check those out if you're looking for metal tins because they can get quite pricey. And then this one I believe was around $15. The prices are always subject to change. Look at the artwork on this tin. On the box, it's beautiful. This one will hold, it says 48 half pans or 24 full pans, but you will get 26 full pans or 50 half pans. I'm going to open this up and show this to you. It's beautiful. Again, I got the colorful pattern because I like it that much, and I don't have anything like this. I've never had a white tin before. Very secure clasp, like, listen to that click. Very secure, so I'm comfortable traveling with it. They do have the ring on the bottom and the extra mixing area if you take the insert out. Look at all that mixing space. I love it. Now, I still think this is travel friendly because it folds up, but it might be more large and cumbersome than what, you know, some of you want to bring with you, and I totally get that. But excellent quality, and again, like $15, you guys. You can't even buy 26 full pans for $15, so you might as well, if you're in the market, it's worth it just for the empty pans. So, but the quality of the tin is actually really, really good, and I might pick up an extra one just to have it because who knows if they'll bring these back. But actually ended up putting my Daniel Smith watercolors in this one. So I've already filmed a review, more in-depth information on this if you guys are interested. And the next palette find on Amazon that I found, and these are crazy. I can't even believe it. These are by the brand Meeden, and they are the Porcelain Artist palettes. They are hand-glazed porcelain, pure white. I would say they're more of an off-white. I actually picked up 3 of these. I originally picked up 1, and then I was so happy with it. I wanted to grab extras because the price is so good and I'm so happy with it that I didn't want to take a chance that if I wanted more they wouldn't be there. So I'll leave this linked up too if you guys are interested. Now it is rather small, but I wanted that. I really wanted something that would be more portable and compact. Again, this is by the brand called Meeden, and you get 18 wells. They're rather small. I would compare them to the size of a traditional or a typical half pan. All right, so I actually wanted to reach and grab my Winsor & Newton palette so that I could compare. So the wells on the side are a little bit longer, and they are going to be a bit larger than a Winsor & Newton half pan, and then the wells along the front or the face here is going to be about the exact same size as a Winsor & Newton half pan, and then you get a couple of these little corner wells there. So I wanted you to have that size comparison there in case you're interested. But this actually really fit the bill nicely for me. It's exactly what I was looking for. I love mixing on porcelain. It's like nothing else. And if you guys have priced those Stephen Quiller palettes lately, I did a full review on my Stephen Quiller porcelain palette on this channel, so I'll leave it linked up if you guys want more information on it. But they can get quite pricey. This one reminds me a little bit of a John Pike palette, except smaller and porcelain. And the lip is nice and heavy. Like by heavy, I mean it's nice and tall. So I was playing around with this, and no matter how wet I made the wash, it did not go back into the little pan dividers at all. And another thing I wanted to mention is, you know, for most of my smaller paintings, the sketchbook paintings, the mixing area here is going to be sufficient. But, you know, if you just couple that with a small porcelain flower dish, this setup is so convenient to have on my desk, especially in videos. I love that there's no wells on this side, so I could just roll it right up to the side of my sketchbook. And I'm going to actually fill this with my Qor watercolors. I might use one of the other ones for Sennelier. I love it. I love this palette. I love the size. I love porcelain. It's like nothing else to mix on porcelain. And the cost, did I even say the cost yet? Oh my gosh. $13.50. So run, don't walk. If you wanted a porcelain palette that was a good medium-sized palette, again, it's not as large as a Pike palette or a Stephen Quiller palette. Absolutely not. But I actually love it for that because I have enough larger porcelain palettes. I wanted something smaller. I'll leave a link in the description box down below. Again, not an affiliate link. I make nothing off of it. I just wanted you guys to have the option. And then if you turn it over, there are some dividers here that you can use for more mixing area. Though I'm not super comfortable with that. If I had paint in here, I wouldn't want to turn it over like that. But this is a high quality piece of porcelain. I'm very happy with it, and obviously because I went back for 2 more immediately, because I've seen this one go for even $70 in the past, this exact palette. So when the price was good, I grabbed them. And like I said, I'm going to fill these with my Qor watercolors, this one, and I'll probably do a video showing that, setting it up, and some more reviews. But it washes really clean. The mixes lay nice and flat on there. I'm really in love with this, so I highly recommend this already. And again, that's the Meeden brand. I'll leave a link in the description. Moving right along to the Qor watercolors, and one of my last hauls, and you will have noticed I did a full review on the Qor watercolors, the High Chroma set of 6, and I actually really liked them, but I definitely feel like this is not a standalone set. You know, this is like add-on colors, all these High Chroma colors. So I knew I wanted to get some more, so I grabbed, while Jerry's was having a special, these were 23 bucks for 6 tubes. I grabbed their introductory set of 6 and their earth color set of 6. So now between these 3 sets, I feel I have a really good selection of colors, very high balanced, and there aren't any duplicates. So I love that about Qor, is that you could start off, let's say, with your primaries. Your introductory set has your split primary mixing system and a burnt sienna, and I would really recommend that when you get first if you didn't have any paint. And then maybe you could move to the high chroma, and then maybe later add on the earth colors. And you know, there are other sets as well, and there aren't any duplicates when you buy the sets of 6. So I really love that. And the tins, I don't think I bragged enough in my review. I'm going to leave that review linked up for more information on Qor, because this is just a haul. But the tin is amazing quality. I will definitely be keeping this tin. I feel like you could put some half pans in there filled with the color, and you don't even have to put the half pans in, but you have everything you need to get started when you buy a Qor tin, because this tin, the metal doesn't stain. You know, it's nice. It's really very functional. So this introductory set of 6 comes with Hansa Yellow Light, Pyrrole Red Light, which is a color I love, Permanent Alizarin Crimson, which this pigment is PR177. It has a light fast rating of good. It is light fast in the heavier applications and in mass tone, but you got to watch out for the tints when it comes to that color. So you might want to sub that out with the magenta if you're going to do lighter tints. Phthalo Blue Green shade, Ultramarine Blue, and Burnt Sienna Natural. Originally when Qor had come out, and I think they've reformulated since the beginning as well, but the introductory set has changed a little. They used to offer you Cerulean Blue and Phthalo Blue, and I'm glad they made this change because this is more useful to me. You get some 5 milliliter tubes in here, and for $23 to get 6 really high quality artist colors, and you get the tin. You know, even if you weren't getting this tin for $23, I would steer beginners probably to sets like this, or the Daniel Smith introductory set of 6, because for 23 bucks, you know, you've everything you need to get started, and I wouldn't even mess around with the student grade paint at that point when the value is so good here. And you're going to have good quality colors. And then the Earth set, I was very happy with, all except one color I'll be rejecting. So, but everything else here I was happy with. You get Naples Yellow, which is very opaque and chalky. I'm actually going to swap that out for Yellow Ochre. I picked that up. Transparent Brown Oxide, Venetian Red, Sap Green, Indigo, and Raw Umber Natural. I definitely wanted that Raw Umber and that Sap Green, so I'm very, very happy with it. And then the one color, like I said, that I bought individually would be PY43. This is their Yellow Ochre Natural. They're 11 milliliter tubes, sort of like a Sennelier tube. In that way, you can see how much bigger their quote-unquote full-size tubes would be. But this is still a lot of paint, you guys, and the value is really here. So I'm very happy with my purchase, and I highly, highly recommend the Qor Watercolors. Though, honestly, I take back what I said about beginners. I'm not sure beginners would, that these paints are beginner friendly, just because if you like your paint to flow a lot, then yes. But if you're a beginner and you find watercolor already difficult to control, you may want to steer away for these from the beginning, because they do flow they bloom a lot and flow like no other. So they might be difficult for a beginner to control. But yeah, I'm definitely, even though I'm going to be setting up that porcelain palette with these watercolors, I'm definitely going to be keeping these tins and repurposing them for something, because they are amazing. I really think that you could use these for a travel watercolor kit. I'm even thinking of putting my Inktense blocks, a couple pieces of those in here, and traveling with them. So these tins are great quality. I'm so happy they give them to you. The next thing I picked up was the Mimic Squirrel Pocket Brush Set. This is only available through Jerry's, as are the Mimic brushes in general. You get this really nice kind of, I don't want to say it's leather because it probably isn't. Oh, beautiful vegan leather case. I'm going to guess that is a synthetic leather, but I could be wrong. And inside you get the travel brushes here. So what comes inside, you get a size 2, 4, 6, and 8 round, as well as a size 1/4 inch flat. It says innovative high quality synthetic hair blend mimics squirrel and red sable blend together. Removable metal cap doubles as handle. Large water retention, I agree with that. Control response and the sharp edge of sable brushes. Features absorbent bellies of squirrel brushes, nickel plated brass ferrules, etc., etc. So these brushes, this brand of brushes is some of my favorite. I wasn't expecting a whole lot when I had tried these years ago, and you've seen these on my channel before. I actually really love them, and I purchase their number 4 round in bulk sometimes because I really go through it for detail work on my arches, cold press paper. It wears the tip down quicker than most papers do, and that's nothing against the brushes, it's just the way that it is. So I wanted to actually get them out to compare to see if the sizes would be about the same. Here's a size 8 in the full size, and here is the travel brush. I think that the travel brush is a little bit smaller, as I suspected, for the size 8, and I think for the size 6 as well, but the other ones seem to be about accurate. Yeah, I think they might just be a little bit smidge smaller than your typical ones. But when they say that they perform like a blend of squirrel and sable, I agree with that. I feel like I could do a whole painting with just these. Typically when I do a watercolor painting, I'll start with like a Mimic Kolinsky Sable, like an Aqua Elite from Princeton, and then finish with a Mimic Squirrel for glazing because they're softer, like a Princeton Neptune. But these are soft enough to get your glazes so that they won't disturb anything underneath, but they're stiff enough to get the control and get your details. So I really do love these brushes, and I knew that if I was going to be choosing any travel set, you know, if I wanted any brush to do for traveling, I knew I wanted this brush. So when I saw they had it in this travel set, I was really happy. I also think they did a great job with balancing what brushes you get, because, you know, you get that 8 and you get the 4, and even, you know, that little detail brush. They did a great job. They really did. Let me show you. The tips on most of them came pristine, but that size 8 I think is going to need a tiny trim, but that's all right. So I'm going to show you really quickly how that they fold up. So like I said, the cap becomes the handle, and all the handles, whether you get the tiniest one or the largest one, they're going to have the same weight and the same feel in the hand. So that was also well done. You're not getting a skinnier handle for the size 2 than you're getting for the size 8. So that was really well thought out, I thought. Get this beautiful gold lettering on the silver barrel. I think that looks really nice. And then you just put it away, cap it up, and look how portable it is. If you would have, you can bring them like this, you could store them all in there, or you can bring them with you in your metal tin. You could just drop it in your metal tin like that. So that is, of course, very useful or good. Or you could put it in a pocket. So depending on how much room, of course, that you have available to you in whatever your travel situation is going to look like. But the brushes I already know are very high quality. I've worked with their brushes quite a bit. What's wrong with that? Why isn't that going in? Huh. Oh, there it goes. I couldn't get it to close initially there. But like I said, I've worked with their brushes for a really long time. They're full-size brushes, and these feel like a full-size brush in the hand. They did a really good job with that. So if you guys saw some of my last haul videos, I've been talking about putting together a travel watercolor kit. And I originally thought, oh, I'll do, you know, water brushes because it's the most easy. But honestly, I'm never going to be happy with water brushes. I'm just not. Now, this coating I do believe is somewhat water resistant, so if I was out and about traveling, or if I was at a desk or something, not a desk but like a bench or something outside, and I was painting, I probably could have them open and rinsing and then maybe put them back in here like this, you know, to reach and grab for different ones. So I don't think it would hurt it to get wet, but I can't say for 100% sure. Yeah, I'm never going to be happy with water brushes, you guys. I'm just going to stick to regular brushes. I'd rather bring a container of water with me. I know it's extra space, but I'm going to get a much better result with these brushes versus a water brush. So even though it takes up more space, I really am so happy to have these, and I know the quality is excellent on those. Going along with the theme of a travel watercolor kit or plein air painting, I also picked up this from Hobby Lobby. Everything in Hobby Lobby was half off, so if it says $3.49, it was like, what, $1.75 or something. It's a plastic art jar. It should be waterproof, so I will be able to keep my water in here. And I want to put one of these paint pucks or brush pucks, I forget what they're called, down into the bottom so I can wash my brush off. So yeah, this definitely takes up more room in a bag or with you than a travel water brush, but I'm happy to have it. And then I also picked up some of these smaller jars because I thought maybe I would even bring 2 of these, one for dirty or one for clean, or just one of these small ones in addition to this, just for some clean, fresh water to have. And of course, I know I'm gonna have to bring a bigger bag. It's a trade-off, but I do feel like it's worth it. I also grabbed some of these mister bottles so that I could spray my paints and do fun effects while I was out. And you can always, I usually use this extra fine mister in the art room, but you can never have too many mister bottles, let's be honest. I grabbed some of these dropper bottles because I think they're helpful to have for gum Arabic solutions and things like that. So I grabbed those. I also grabbed 2 of these needle tip bottles. They came in a package just like the droppers, but I wouldn't recommend these. I thought, my idea was I would fill this with masking fluid and then I would be able to apply fine lines of masking fluid that way. But the problem is that this bottle is not airtight, it's not watertight, it leaks from the nozzle, it leaks from the bottle, it leaks all over, and hopefully you can hear that. Hold on. What you should hear is like it's hissing because even with the pin in it, it's leaking air all over. So these are just sort of duds. I wish I hadn't picked those up, but I wouldn't recommend them. I also grabbed an X-Acto blade. I have one from another brand, but it's not the X-Acto brand, but I like using this for carving out little sparkles or little white highlights at the end of a watercolor painting. If I didn't reserve my whites properly with masking fluid, or maybe I just wanted to go in and add a little detail at the end, this keeps it a transparent watercolor without adding anything additional. You could just scrape the paint away, but of course that's always at the very end that you want to do that because it does damage your paper. And the very last thing I picked up was this little spiral bound sketchbook. This is a 6x6 perfect square. It was originally $7.99 and then it was on sale for $3.99 because everything was half off. And this is a nice hardcover and I like the spiral binding, and that's really what I picked it up for, is because I like to make my own sketchbooks, my own watercolor sketchbooks with good paper. I actually have a video on that, so I'll leave that linked up if you guys are interested. And I thought this would be a great size. I could fill it with some arches or something like that because I like to work on good paper. I just do. So the sketch paper inside is really irrelevant to me. I just thought, you know, if I had this and my brushes and my water, you know, I could fit all of that decently easily in a palette in a small bag, and then I would be good to go. So that was my thoughts on it. If you all have any opinions or suggestions on how to put together a travel art kit, like what do you guys do? Let me know, because I tried water brushes and you guys, I really don't like them. And even the ones that I feel like I can control the water on better, they're still not as good a quality of a brush as something like these. And I feel like you have to, yeah, I'm not bringing a container of water, but I have to bring a bunch of paper towels because when you want to change a color, you have to really you know, scrub it off there, and I think you waste more water, but either way, you're going to be bringing something extra, I think. So I don't know. Let me know down below what you guys think. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's haul. If you haven't already, if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.